Hey, AfterBuzzers, you are watching the Rhythm and Flow After Show. We're about to break down all of the first 4 auditions in all the different cities, give you our top picks, and give you some info on some other different rappers and some other news going on. Stay tuned.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz...
What's up, AfterBuzzers? You are watching the After Show for Rhythm and Flow. My name is Nate Miller. I'm here with my lovely hosts, Shayna and Suzi. We're going to break down these first 4 episodes with all their different auditions and give some, kind of impressions of how we felt. So I think first to kick it off, what would you guys say are your overall impressions of the show to start with?
I would say I genuinely like the show. I think the way that they put it together was really dope as far as like the different cities with the people that are from the judges that are from those cities. And then also giving like the people who are auditioning their little backstory. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of ways that you could do a competition show, so I thought it was dope the way they've done it so far.
I really liked it overall. I think one thing that stood out that was kind of cool is that they not only had guest judges, but they also had the contestants in that very beginning kind of do a little pre-audition before the audition, which was kind of a unique, different spin on kind of a competition show.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with reality TV. I do like competition shows in general just because I like, having someone to root for, and I also like people that are good at certain things compete with other people who are also talented. And being a big hip-hop fan, I was very excited to see this. For me at first, especially the first LA episode, it felt really overproduced, and I was worried that the rest of it was going to feel like that. But I feel like once they left LA, they kind of loosened up a bit, and I think the guest judges really helped with that. Mm-hmm. They had some really notable people, Jadakiss, Big Boy,
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, like the perfect people to bring in these environments to kind of inject, in my opinion, some realness.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of talented people, a lot of people that were kind of like,
Yeah.
But I do know at the end of the day, it's a competition show, so there has to be some people to go home. I think.
Yeah, I think it's also like American Idol, right? Like they let certain people go through because they know they're kind of bad, so it's just like entertainment for everyone else a little bit.
Right.
You can't have everybody be good, and then it's like everybody make it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's not as compelling.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun too because being a Netflix show, they can be a lot more unfiltered.
True.
Oh, for
so
sure.
they had some pretty funny comments, and they had no filters when some people were bad. It was pretty good.
I do say that I did really appreciate that is that it was very unfiltered, which is definitely the benefit of going on Netflix, and to try to do a hip hop show like this without that would just be so ingenuine that I don't think anybody would be able to get into it.
Yeah.
So let's kind of, we got a lot of ground to cover, a lot of auditions. I'd like to just go through with some of the people who were selected. There's 30 rappers going through the next round. There were a lot of people that didn't make it that were kind of interesting, but I think we should just kind of focus on who did, because that's who will be, progressing. So to start off in Los Angeles, Ray Khalil, very memorable in my opinion. She, I believe she met with them before.
Yeah,
right?
she was in one of like the pre-auditions.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So she was part of...
She was on Big Boy, I think
with Nipsey, correct?
Yes, at the school. That's
Which
right.
I think just that whole scene was
She wasn't with
great.
Nipsey. Inglewood Iv was with Nipsey.
Oh, you're right.
She was with Anderson .Paak, was it?
Yes, at the
Anderson
studio
Paak.
with Chance.
Yeah, I'm like 4 episodes on the one.
I know,
We're trying to get it
it's
together.
a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anderson .Paak, she was really good, and she definitely deserved to go to the next like competition part of it, because she I felt like everything she was saying was so real.
Yeah.
Whereas like some people in the competition, like they kind of gave you the regular
I
whatever
think
they're supposed to say.
one of the criticisms that a lot of the people got, and what I think is kind of what defines the people who really make it versus who don't, is this idea of like being a complete artist and like knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Not only does she have the ability to get up there and perform and to write and all these things, but she also knows what she wants to say, what message she has, and that comes through a lot like in her performance. I think she killed it.
I think too also with her that I really liked is just what she looked like. I think again Cardi B had something to say. She's like, "You're the complete opposite of me." And I'm like, "Girl, I love that." And so she almost has like a tomboy appeal to her, and I think her whole aesthetic is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. She rode the beat crazy too.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she has a great flow. Another one on this list that I'm pulling from is AJ the One, who I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember at all.
I was going to say, AJ the One isn't ringing a bell for me.
Not a good sign.
No.
So hopefully she makes it past the next round.
I will say that T.I. said at one point, I think it was in the Atlanta auditions though, but he was like, do you remember anything that he just said?
Yeah.
And none of them could repeat anything, and I kind of took that with me the rest of the time, because I'm like, that makes so much sense. Like sometimes you're like, oh, I liked that, but like, did you remember anything?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they keep saying this, like, they're not looking just for someone who can do it. They're looking for, like, the best people
A
who can
superstar.
do it. Right, exactly.
Right. And again, they honed in through every audition, like, stage presence is huge. And again, I think that some of these people, they just weren't very memorable. They might have been good, but they're not going to be able to carry through and, like, perform on their own.
Yeah, I mean,
Agreed.
if you can't stand out in a group of 30, I think, how are you going to stand out in the group
the
of,
millions.
hundreds of people,
Yeah.
thousands of people who are releasing music? The next one I have on this list is Inglewood Iv, who I will say was very memorable, for good or for bad, because he was there who rapped in front of Nipsey.
He
and
did,
it was very impressive, I think, a cappella, and you could tell he has a lot of heart, and I think
Yes.
maybe almost too much heart. This is Mr. Murder, 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 murder. And, like, look, he was rapping about some real shit. Like,
No, for
that
sure.
But, like, you got to know time and a place, and, like,
Yeah.
Right.
it was a lot.
I think that after the first 3 murders, it would have been enough emphasis.
Yeah.
Like it was like almost 16 bars of murder.
It was
It was a lot of murder.
Yeah,
But
I think it actually was like full on.
Yes.
I think like
the last
8 bars.
yeah.
Were just,
Yeah, but I thought when he rapped in front of Nipsey, I like loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came out into that song, I was like, oof, not the right song to do for an audition.
No. But I do think the judges put him through. He was probably our first
Yeah.
crier.
Yeah, I think he's
He
kind
did
of
cry
a.
too.
cry.
That was another memorable moment.
Yeah, I think he's kind of a dark horse in that, not a strong showing, but I do think he's talented, and I'm excited to see what he does in the next round, to see if he, kind of improves, or if this is, if he's going to do like the same thing
Right.
again. Next one I have on this list is Ali Tamanique, who I nicknamed Lil Childish Gambino, because he sounds and looks, his whole gimmick is just like early Donald Glover, and I think that's why Chance is like came
It's
at him so
gimmicky,
hard.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I do think he's talented, he can do it, but like the confidence is not really there. He's like relying on all these other things. So
Didn't they call him gimmicky?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what.
that's
Yeah,
the-
Chance
that's the
said
word.
this is the Rubik's
Rubik's Cube
Cube
kid.
Yeah.
And like before he went on stage and he was doing the Rubik's, saying he was gonna do the Rubik's Cube, I was like, come on. Like
Yeah.
it's cool that he could do it for sure.
Yeah.
But like to do it on stage before and have it be like your thing is too much.
But you got to stand out, right? And he stood out and he made
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah, but they told him
hopefully-
to get rid of it.
Yeah, so hopefully he takes that advice and figures out another way to stand out. But, you got to use what you can,
Yeah.
at least, to get your foot in the door.
Right.
All right, next one I have on this list is D-Smoke.
Loved him.
Hands down, my
loved him.
favorite.
Love
Yes.
D-Smoke.
You can quote me right now. I think D-Smoke's going to win. He
Love
should win,
D-Smoke.
in my opinion. I tell you that already.
D-Smoke
so
needs to
different.
come on the show.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
from
man.
this area. Like
He is from Los
I
Angeles, that's right.
loved him.
And
he was amazing.
The Spanish was
I liked
nuts.
how I always do like fashion, and that's kind of my background. But I didn't mind Cardi B called him a janitor. I was like, I kind of like his look. I think
That's
it's great.
definitely, he had LA swag. Like I was
Yes.
like, I've seen somebody wear that before. It's not
Me
like he
too.
was, yeah.
I think it fits his vibe.
I
for
didn't
sure.
mind it at all.
For sure, yeah.
And adding the Spanish in, like, first of all, you don't expect it from him.
No.
And then he was actually like super fluent. Like Cardi even said, like, you speak better Spanish than me. Like, I thought that was super dope. Like, just another element of how good he already was.
Yeah. We've got 2 more in LA that made it through. Old Man Saxon.
He was interesting.
Kind of a gimmicky kind of a
Very
thing.
gimmicky.
I do think within that he was very talented, and I think very strong performance.
Yes.
He reminded me of like Jadena when Jadena first came out, only because he did Classic Man and then he only wore suits, right? And kind of everybody only knew him for that, even though you knew he was talented, and now he kind of wears whatever he wants and it's obviously fine.
I can see that.
I think it was just like, that's where I don't know, when I first saw him, and then I was like, oh, he's good. He's kind of giving me like, I want to be Jadena vibes a little bit.
Yeah, I get the classy that correlation for sure.
Yeah.
For me, all I can think of is like E40 when I hear him rap, because he's
Bay
very, very
Area
West
for
Coast.
sure.
Yeah, which is great. And the thing is, for me, like, this is kind of sacrilege, but I'm not a big E40 fan because I just don't like his voice. I do think he's incredibly talented, but I think Old Man Saxon does that in that same way, can manipulate the flow. But he had some really funny punchlines.
No, he did.
Totally did.
I was
He
really
deserved to
feeling
make it to the
Yeah,
next
again,
round.
stage
Yeah.
presence. I
Like,
mean,
regardless of
great.
like his gimmick or whatever.
But again, it's going
he
to
was
come
good.
down to, like, you can do this here, but can you take that and apply it in other different ways?
True.
So, I mean, we're going to see. Last person I have on this list is King Vibe. Kind of came off like a little Uzi Vert knockoff to me. Not super memorable. In my opinion, not even really worth talking about.
I think he was a little memorable because of his stage presence.
Okay.
He definitely engaged the crowd. He rapped a little too fast. It was like hard to understand him a little bit. But I thought he was good. I thought he was good.
Sometimes, though, I think, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get out and rap in front of those 4 judges. I would have been nervous, but I think that was the problem with a lot of the contestants. They were going too fast. Because for me, he wasn't very memorable for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of rappers fall into the trap of thinking that if I can rap fast, then that means that I can rap good, and that's
Right.
not. It doesn't work that way. So we're gonna move on to the next round of auditions. We've got New York City.
Right.
Quite a different selection. I did really enjoy the guest judges bringing in Fat Joe and Jadakiss,
Love
2
that.
of my favorite rappers.
Same.
Because otherwise, I don't know how I would have tolerated Cardi B judging on her own. I love Cardi. She knows a lot. She's very good at what she does. I don't think that rapping is one of those things, but that's a discussion for another day. So the first one,
She know how to make a song though.
I do think she knows how to make a song. I think she knows how to market a song. I
Yeah,
think other
right.
people write her raps, and I don't think that she has given any like constructive criticism about the rapping in any way.
That's true.
The closest she gets is making comments about quotables, but again, that's more of a marketing thing than really like, yes, you want quotables in your song, but because the line is good, not because someone's going to put on their Instagram caption, which is going to get you more followers.
But I think that's why they have her on the show. Too.
Yes, yeah.
She's a personality.
And the reality is, in this day and age of music, like, that is, if you look at the people who are very successful, Lil Nas X has the record-breaking single. He did that through self-promotion, through, not because he's the best rapper-songwriter in the world, but because he got lucky because he's a hard worker and he was ready for the opportunity and he knew how to push himself. So, yeah, it's definitely a very valuable...
It's a part of the music industry now that I feel like is important enough to have somebody be representing it on the show.
For sure. Kay Machiavel was she got pushed through. This is the one who auditioned. She's the one who auditioned with at Ebro's.
Yep.
Yeah, in Hot
Ebro in
97.
the morning. Yeah.
I am a big fan of Kay Machiavel. I like the
her.
attitude.
I like her a lot too.
I do think she's a little underdeveloped, but I like her charisma, and so I find myself rooting for her.
I think it was also like the underdeveloped part you're probably talking about. I took as like grit. Like I was like, oh, I love her grit. She's giving me New York all the way. Like I would listen to her right now.
I don't mean like raw. I just mean like in terms of like her on her way of becoming an artist. I think she still has some work to go.
Sure.
I definitely appreciate the rawness, and I think that's the charisma for me, is that it was raw and gritty, but also like real. Not like she's like just rapping like I was like, oh shit.
These are the people that I love that make these shows, because as we see them develop on, as she keeps progressing, I love watching them evolve and kind of learning. So I mean, I do like somebody that, like you said, is still a little bit raw, because I want to see how they develop as the show goes on.
For sure.
Yeah. Next one I've got on here is Flawless Real Talk.
My absolute favorite. Ooh. He was my favorite out of the whole group.
Out of New York, for sure.
Yeah.
He is the one who I think, if I had to pick like I'm not sure how they're doing the finals, but if there's a final 2, I think it's going to be Flawless and D-Smoke, I think.
I would love that. I think they're both super talented. Like Flawless in particular, I think he's kind of already known around New York.
Right.
So he has a little bit of an advantage. But he was really, really good. And his performance was dope.
Yeah, this is what I mean, is the separation between like Kay Machiavel and like Flawless. Like Flawless is defined as an artist.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't need any more polishing. That's kind of what I mean. You were gonna say, Suzi?
Oh, I was just gonna say too, though. I think with him, I also feel though that New York, besides Flawless, was probably the city for me that didn't do as much as the other cities. Like, I liked New York and I loved the judges on it, but I thought the talent, I was surprised altogether.
I just think it was very much where I think a lot of the other places, especially like LA, we were seeing more of kind of like general hip hop than kind of like more specialized like regional hip hop, where I feel like New York, it was very much like New York hip hop. Like it wasn't, I didn't see a lot of people that were kind of trying to go mainstream or commercial, which I appreciate, but I think that's why a lot of it, you know, some of that grimy New York stuff where like they're really spitting is not for everybody.
Right.
I was going to say also, like, my family's from New York, and I was watching the episode, like, this cannot be the best New York artist that they could find.
Well, it's the best New York artists that agreed to come on Netflix. And also,
That's
like,
true, too.
you know, all of these people, they were screened before the audition, you know,
Right,
like by producers and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, it sounds to me like there's like maybe 10 songs, like beats that they were given to choose from, because I heard a lot of repeating beats from people. So I think that kind of limits some people as well. You know, if you're like a rapper producer and you can't get up there and rap on your own stuff, or like if that's kind of your whole thing, you know, maybe that competition's not for you. And also at the end of the day, like
That is true.
Yeah.
This competition is not for everybody.
It's not. Competition, like, shows in general aren't for everybody. I feel like you could be the best rapper out, but like maybe you don't.
Well, art is subjective, right? It's like the guy, you know, this is later, but the guy who came out in Chicago with the baby head doing the horrorcore stuff.
Correct.
Like, I'm not into that,
That's a
but there's
specific underground niche.
someone
That's a
who's
niche.
like, that's my shit, and they just saw him on Netflix, and they're gonna look him up on YouTube, SoundCloud, or whatever, and he's gonna get, you know, 12,000 plays, whatever.
Totally.
Very true.
So that's the great thing about this show.
All I know is the best part about New York for me was Fat Joe's judging.
I agree.
He was Fat Joe was like what I watched.
All right, so we're getting a little bit behind, so we got to speed read through some of the rest of these New York people. So we got Savannah Hanna.
I didn't think she
I'm
was
on the
that
fence.
great.
Yeah, I'm very on the fence. I'm kind of like just barely not bad is where I feel with her. Beans.
Loved her.
I liked Beans.
I hope she goes all the way.
Oh man,
Yes.
wow, the transformation.
Believer.
Like, talk about stage presence.
I
For like
hope she
such a
goes all the way
small
for sure.
girl, yeah, she's got bars. Jadakiss was like lost his mind. It's crazy. Felicia George. This is the queen, big
Yes.
queen energy.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not 100% sold. I like her, but I don't think she has what it takes to win the competition.
I agree with you that she has a great presence to her, but I kind of wasn't completely sold on her either.
And I don't know if this is like judging a book by its cover, but I think I wanted like an Erica Badu vibe from
Yes.
her, and that's not what I got. And when I got, I didn't really want. Like, it was like something I could get from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hope that in the next level she does something a little bit better than the first round.
Cakes to Killa made through. Cakes is kind of already has a little bit of a following online. I'm a fan of his already. I've heard some of his stuff on some different, you know, internet.
I was gonna say I like him.
internet
I've never
stuff.
seen him before the show, but I like him.
Yeah, I'm curious to
that was the
see
first
what
thing.
he does with the competition.
Right.
One Take Carter, which is a chillin' Mr. Check Suit guy.
There were a lot of checks.
There
throughout
were
the
a
whole
lot of
episode. I was like, what's
checks.
going on with all the checkers?
Yeah,
But
it was, you know, again, kind of gimmicky, but I do think he can rap. So I'm curious to see, you know, what he does in this competition. So before we move on and get through the rest of Atlanta and Chicago, talk about who made it through there, really quick, we're going to give you a word from our studio.
we just want to thank you guys for making us the ESPN of TV. We are so excited. If you are on YouTube, subscribe. On iTunes, give us 5 stars. Follow us on our socials at AfterBuzz TV. You guys are our biggest fans, and we couldn't do this without you.
Yeah, guys, we appreciate all the support. That's why we do this, is, you know, to have that conversation with you guys. So we appreciate hearing from you. Feel free to hit us, you know, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever is your social media of choice, just so we can keep that conversation going. It means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
All right, so Atlanta was the next one. Big Boy and Quavo. I always mix the Migos
And Killer
up.
Mike. Killer Mike was in the beginning.
Yes.
I love
Killer
that.
Mike is like in my top 10.
No, like,
He can
yeah.
like
He's a
I'm
he's a
gonna
living
say
legend.
this a lot. Rap, like, because some people can rap, but like some people can rap.
Yeah.
And there's a big distinction. Okay, so London B she had the 2 different color
Yeah.
hairs.
I like her
Giselle.
story. I think she performed really great.
Yeah.
Like they finished with her on purpose for sure. Because she definitely brought the energy. She had the bars. I liked her. I think she's kind of like Kay McAvell, where she could use a little bit more development.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I liked her.
She's got a good look to her too.
Yeah,
Loved
I think
it.
she's memorable. I think she's talented. I think she needs a little bit more work. I think she might be able to go kind of far in the competition. I'm not sure about the end.
Yeah.
But she is someone I'm excited to watch. Amavi is another one.
Oh, I liked her. Amavi was cool. The only thing I didn't like about
Don't
her.
remember.
So she was the one who was rapping for her brother.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was the only thing. Like, I felt like she's not that memorable because she didn't give us her identity.
Yeah, it was all about.
Even when Tiff asked her, like, so tell me something about yourself, she started talking about her brother.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yes.
ooh, I kind of need, like, I don't know anything about you, but her rap was good.
Yeah.
Yes. They also said that like her 90s look didn't go
With what
her
she was talking
style.
about.
I kind of agree with that
Yeah,
too.
I do too.
Like, yeah, I mean it's important. I don't think it's that important, but it is in the grander scheme.
same
In
way
a
with-
competition, like anything that is not for you is working against you.
Same with Felicia. Like, we expected Erykah Badu.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Her whole thing.
We got
is,
new school.
I appreciate the confidence, but I think that she thinks she knows but she really doesn't know. Caleb Colossus.
Oh, he was
got a
good.
great voice.
I think
I
I
don't remember any of
liked.
these guys.
So he was the one who auditioned with Killer Mike in the barbershop.
Oh yeah, I didn't like him in the barbershop.
I liked him in the barbershop.
I liked him
Interesting.
better when he was in front of the judges.
See, I was like, oh,
Interesting.
I still liked him in front of the judges, but I was like, oh, I think I more so like the guys in the barbershop because Atlanta already had, like, right now has a sound. Like,
Oh, for sure.
Right.
people are kind of going, like, not going for, but following after the flow of, like, Amigos, Future, Young Thug.
Oh yeah, the trap sound.
And
for sure.
yeah, which I love, but I think out of all three of them that were in the barbershop with Killer Mike, none of them had that. So I was like, oh, I was kind of digging those three.
Maddie Mook.
Maddie Mook, not memorable.
I can't even remember.
Don't remember at all. Good luck to you.
never
Hope you
mind.
Sorry, Maddie Mook.
hope you do
Maddie.
better in the next
Y'all
round.
just gotta stop.
Troy Man.
I liked Troy Man.
I did like
lot.
Troy Man.
I liked him too.
He was
Very
one of my
strong.
favorite of the episode.
I didn't really feel like the Atlanta pool was that strong. So he was my favorite as well,
Right.
but not because like he blew me away, but
Right.
mostly just because I wasn't really feeling most of him.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. I think he did good though. It's not a deject to him that there was no other good people, but he was my favorite.
Yeah. Two Live Bree. Hope I'm saying that right.
Yes, I remember him.
Oh,
He had the two puffs.
yes. He was like, didn't they say he was fun?
Yeah,
he
that
was, like,
was it.
he was
He
being
was
positive.
yeah.
He was being positive.
Yeah.
But he came shortly after the comment about, like, did you remember anything from the other guy's performance? And I didn't remember
And you were
nothing
like-
but him jumping around
Yeah.
and saying yo 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 yo.
Well, you know, they need some people to cut next week.
Right.
That's true.
A huge lot of them.
They are cutting like half next week.
Yeah. So the last person from Atlanta is C Rose, who I feel like I liked, but I don't really remember.
C Rose.
Is C Rose? Why am I not remembering C Rose?
Yeah, I don't remember C Rose either.
Do
Dang.
better.
There are a lot of people that it was like so many people to
Yeah.
watch in each
Yes.
thing, and then
Yep.
like they didn't give you like a wrap up at the end of who made it.
No.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
I think that would have made it a little bit easier
I agree.
to like at the end, instead of doing like the little montage of like T.I. like leaving, like
Yeah.
keep that
Right.
a little bit, but like give us like who made it.
Yeah, even in the first episode, there's like a 6-minute trailer at the start of the episode before
Right.
it even starts. It's
Right.
like, relax, I'm already watching it.
Exactly.
I'm already tuned in. So last but never least, Chicago, we have G Mamba.
I don't remember G Mamba
No
either.
bells. No bells. I should have taken better notes. Arion. This is the
I
kid.
loved
He's like the
Arion.
18-year-old
the
kid.
youngest
I
in
really
the
loved
competition.
Arion.
I think there's another 18-year-old.
There's another 18-year-old.
as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think he made it. I don't know.
I mean, he was great. He pulled the crowd in. He was young. I really liked him a lot.
I'm rooting for Arion. I know he like messed up a little bit because he was exerting too much energy,
Yeah.
but I think he was also just really nervous. Like
Yeah.
before when he was talking to his mom, you could tell he was nervous, and
Yeah.
then after like, how do you think you did? And he's like, I could have done better. I was like, no, you got to be confident. Be
Yeah.
confident.
I think he has that kind of like it factor, but he is still so young, and like you can see the nerves kind of get to him. That I just don't know if he's ready for it, you know. And there is a lot of young people that are making it now, but I'm just not sure if this is the avenue for him at this point in time.
He would have to be way more confident if he's gonna
he's got to relax so he can like.
But he's a great rapper. Yes. He was going crazy.
Kaylee Crossfire.
I remember her. I liked her.
Yeah.
I think she was decent.
I was just kind of like better than average.
She didn't all the way engage me, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tro still really liked her for some reason.
Yeah.
But I think again the women I'm on the fence. You know, there were a few that I think were great, but I'm interested to see how they progress as well in the competition.
Yeah.
I agree. There weren't any like super standout women.
Which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only ones for me were probably London B, who we already talked about, and probably who we're about to talk about was Big Mouth Bo.
Yeah, she's on here. We can do her now. Yeah, Big Mouth Bo. She was really good.
She was good. Like, she didn't even have to go to the competition. She got sent straight to LA.
This is gonna be an ongoing subject with me with this show, but first of all I want to say I love Chance the Rapper. He's one of my favorite rappers. I did not like Big Day. Deal with it. But there's something up with him and like a weird bias on this show. This is like the first instance of it for me. I don't think that he should have done that. I do think she was talented, but I think that she should have still performed in front of, like, with everybody else. I don't think her performance was that good. Like, it was good,
as I was watching
but especially after already watching people perform in the barbershop and then not make it, like stuff like that. Like, one avenue, yeah, sure, cool. She did it in that place where she feels safe. She was already going to perform. It's very like already spoken word, kind of a heady college Chicago place anyways, where Chance is feeling warm because he's at home.
Yes.
Like, relax. Give her the nod, but not the full like double nod.
Yeah. I will say when I was watching it, I was like, wow, he was amazed. Like, I don't know that I was that amazed, but I was like, as she was spitting, I was like, oh, she's nice. Like, she's good.
So we got to pop through a couple real quick here. Sam, Be Yourself.
Liked him.
I liked him too.
I liked him.
Good for a white guy.
Quirky looking. I liked him a lot.
I hate saying for a white guy.
Sorry,
but
he's got to work a little extra harder.
Yes,
that's true.
That's just how it is.
That is true.
But he did good. Nike Turbo. He got the dance moves.
He got the dance.
He's got good moves.
He is not going to make it far in the competition, but man, is he going to be entertaining. I'll tell you that.
I agree.
I'll tell you that right now.
Good stage presence.
Sasha Go Hard.
You just knew she was already going to make it
I know
through.
we're trying to speed through this, but
Chance bias.
Yes,
Chance bias.
Yeah, she is already kind of known, and she's been around for years, and she is talented. But this is not the time.
Her audition was terrible.
Nope.
Her audition was bad.
It was almost like she knew she was already going to make it through.
She messed up like three different times, and some people didn't get through just because they messed up once. I was like, that's not fair. But I'm excited to see what she does next, because if they like her that much, then she should be better.
Jacob Campbell.
I liked him too.
I don't remember him, but
he is another white guy.
The last white guy.
Oh, yeah.
He lived with his mama.
He was with his mom.
He does
he's
not
from
look
Denver.
white in that picture at all.
Yeah, he's from Denver.
J-Ham. He's the other 18-year-old.
Oh, the young kid. Yeah. I really liked him.
I like him too. Again, I don't think he's ready.
He's gonna go far.
But this is good exposure for him.
Totally.
Especially
but he was
if
good. And I like his story too. He takes care of his brother and stuff.
Yes.
So that's the 30 rappers that are going through. That's our brief, not note-taking opinion on the ones that we remember.
Y'all don't remember the other ones either.
Yeah, I mean, the ones at this point, like, there's still so many people, and next week they cut down to 16, so
that's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people that are going. At that point, it's going to be a lot more, because you can't know all these people's stories at this point. We'll get more into them as we find out the ones that are actually worth investing the time getting to know. Before we get out of here, we got a couple other things we want to talk about. We've got some news going on. We got a little special segment for you guys. But first, let's get into the news.
So T.I. has a new podcast, Expeditiously. So that's
Expeditiously
a good one to watch. He just had the judges on. They got into politics. They got into it a little bit over Trump, which we don't totally need to talk about.
So
but both Cardi and Chance think that Trump is going to win this election. So got a lot to say on that. But the fun news is that Miss Cardi B has been telling people that she's going to drop her sophomore album and call it Tiger Woods. Because everybody buzzed and buzzed and buzzed about Tiger. And then, as she says, he won the green jacket, which for all of you guys that know that is the Masters in golf. So she retracted that statement, but then did not deny that that might be the name of her next album, Tiger Woods.
Don't call it a comeback.
All right. All I know is if that album is not the bee's knees, she's gonna be in trouble.
Yes,
Big trouble.
that's the news.
It should be the bee's knees.
That
though.
is our news. I do. I love T.I. I love the way he
love
talks.
T.I.
I haven't listened to his podcast yet, but
It's pretty good.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, so it's gonna be.
It's worth a
going on my
listen.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a special segment here.
Yes, we do.
Let's just jump right into it.
And we're calling it More Than a Rapper because some of
Okay.
these hip-hop artists are much more than their music. So we're going to highlight a specific rapper this week, and it was a rapper from the first episode of the show, which was Nipsey Hussle, who unfortunately is not with us any longer, but we're going to highlight not only his music, but what he's done in the community and just for LA in general. So outside of his music, he's made it his mission to give back to his community. He opened the Marathon store on Slauson and Crenshaw instead of on Melrose or Fairfax or any other street known for dope clothing already, just so he can hire people from that neighborhood and give opportunities to people from that area where they might not get it elsewhere. He eventually ended up owning the whole strip mall on that corner. He also has been involved in an investment fund that uses tax incentives to further develop communities of color. And he also has started a communal workspace that he called Vector 90, where basically people can go and get STEM skills, also professional development and cultural discovery. So he's doing a lot within the community. And not only was he just opening facilities and starting initiatives for the betterment of the area around him, but he also was doing work with the youth. And before he died, he was planned 2 days after he died to meet with the LAPD to stop gang violence and try to get involved more with the youth in the area. So he was a true community activist, a successful entrepreneur, and a legend icon. And all of his missions will live on forever.
That's right. The marathon continues.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of good news. They just got the family just got custody of his kids.
Yes.
Good news. That's right. Make sure you stream Nipsey Hussle because he owns all of his music and all that money goes to his family because he is a very, very smart man.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really glad that he got to be a part of this.
It was really, really cool, like, as a fan of Nipsey, to see, like, that he did this before passing, and then they kind of gave him a little tribute through T.I.,
Oh, yeah.
which was really, really dope. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tough for me when he passed. I was never like the hugest Nipsey fan, but I was very much aware of him, and especially after Victory Lap, like, that album is incredible. So
Incredible.
For him to do that and then be taken, it just really sucked.
Yeah.
It really sucked.
Definitely gone too soon.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing. That's great insight.
Absolutely.
And next episode we'll have some more info on another rapper because they're more than a rapper.
There it is.
In post we'll add the drum sounds. Yeah, there it is. It's on a delay. That's why. So, yeah, that was the auditions. 4 hour-long episodes. I think they did a good balance of the rapping versus like some of the stories. I personally don't really care for most of the stories, especially this early. Later on, sure, when I'm invested, but at this point, like, you haven't even rapped yet. Don't tell me your sob story. I don't care. But I think they did a good balance of not like dwelling too much on that and doing the talent. My only thing is, if you're gonna do these audition episodes, the best part about audition episodes is laughing at bad people. And they did all the montages and they cut them all short, and I feel robbed and I'm upset. So if you do another season, give them to me.
I
agree.
Because those scenes were hilarious, and some of the things that came out of those
Snoop
judges'
Dogg
mouths.
making cracks.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg, Fat Joe, like, I wanted to hear all the stuff they had to say about the people that
Right.
weren't that good. And then also it's an hour long.
Yeah.
Like, maybe some of the prior stories that they showed could have been shortened to like
Yep.
2 minutes
Yep,
instead of
agreed.
4.
Yeah. If they're gonna be an hour long, there needs to be more things happening. Show me more rappers, not more fluff in between, and then cut to like a montage and show like 15 people in the montage.
Yeah. I want to see some of the people that didn't make it.
Yeah, like, come on. Put it on YouTube, put it on Netflix.
We
Put it
know
like
there
an
were some
extra.
other
It's
ones.
Netflix. Just put it on the internet.
Yeah.
So next episode 5, they're going to be doing ciphers.
So excited.
They're going to break them into groups, and they're going to be eliminating about half of them. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see them in this environment. Cipher format is very different from, like, performing on a stage.
Yes.
You got these guys right with you. You got to jump in on the beat when it's your time.
Yes.
And it's very short bars. You got to be able to be clear and concise, and whatever you're saying, again, it's got to be memorable. You got to, present yourself. So seeing them do that, especially in a group, standing up against one next to each other, to me that's like the real start of the competition. So I'm excited to see it.
I was gonna say, like, as a hip hop fan, I love ciphers and battle raps. Like, that's kind of where I live in the hip hop world. So I'm really excited to see, like, what these people come with. Because, again, like, some of them that we were like, oh, they need to be developed more, like, they might actually be really good at ciphers.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see.
And also, some of the ones that had really great crafted, curated performances may not be able to hang.
Exactly.
Right. That's why I can't wait to see half of them.
So real quick,
Half of them go.
let's do some predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I mean, it's kind of a wild open thing at this point, but let's say, do you have one person that you think is, let's say one person you think is going to make it next round, and one person you think is going to go home?
Ooh, okay. I'll go first.
Go for it.
I've got 2 people that I want to make it. D-Smoke and Flawless, obviously.
Easy.
But to represent for the girls, I hope Beans goes. I think that J Ham is probably not going to make it next round. Not because he isn't good, just because I think it's just maybe too early for him to kind of like be a superstar. I think he was just a little bit too nervous. And yeah, I don't think he's going to make it to the next round. But he was good.
I am a big Ray fan, so I want to see her go far, and D-Smoke as well. So I think prediction-wise that they're going to do really well. Going back to the girls, and I hate to say this, but I'm not a big fan of Shayna. I just said Shayna. I just
I'm
said
like,
your
that's
name.
me, girl.
Wow, the shade.
Sasha.
See, that's why I can't even pronounce her name right, because I'm not a big fan. I just think she's already overhyped, and I don't like when someone comes in already kind of feeling like they're owning a competition. I don't think she thinks that per se, but I think she knows she has a hand up. So I kind of want to see the underdogs do well, and people who already have kind of a presence with the judges, I don't love to see go
Even
far.
when you have a hand up, you have to execute. She came and messed up.
I think I don't want Shayna on the show anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with your guys' picks of like who you think is gonna make it. I do think like Ali Dominique is probably gonna make it. Maybe like Iqbal, and I do think let's see, I'd like to see. What's the Los Angeles, the first girl, Ray Khalil.
Yes.
I'd like to see her make it too, because I think I think she still needs a little bit of work, but I'm hoping that she'll be able to hang in like a cipher environment.
Yeah.
I don't think that what's his name,
Nike Turbo.
Nike Turbo.
I don't know how he's gonna do in a cipher. I'm not sure how
He gonna
that's
dance his way through.
Yeah. Also, I don't think Savannah Hannah is gonna make it.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Again, like I just don't think she's there. I think she has potential, but I think she's just not ready for this. Especially if you look at competitors like Flawless and like D-Smoke, like you're just not.
That's another thing. It'll be
just not
interesting
there.
to see like who they put together.
Yeah,
Because some of them are like way more advanced than other people.
And that could kill you too. If you're if you're next to someone that's not great, you might be okay. But if you're going after Flawless, like you better step your game up.
For sure. Like that's intimidating, especially if you don't really do ciphers. Like to go up against I won't say D-Smoke because I don't know if he could do ciphers, but Flawless, like he's already known for that.
Yeah.
And, And Beans, honestly, she goes hard.
I think Beans will go hard.
Beans
is
hard.
definitely my dark horse ringer. I think she's talented. I think she's gonna be kind of slept on for a while. I think she might kind of cruise under, like doing great, but not necessarily drawing too much attention.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see. So we'll be back to cover that episode when we're back.
So excited.
And we'll be here. We'll have a wonderful full panel. We're going to break it down with you, give us our picks for who we think are going to move out after that. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. My name is Nate Miller. You can follow me everywhere at dogglikenate.
I'm Shayna. You can follow me at shaylive.
I'm Suzi, and you can follow me at suzigstyles.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.